False doctrines. Prophecies and revelations given to Luz de Maria. Our Lord Jesus Christ speaks, continued. February 24, 2016. You must move away from sin. It is not good for the soul, but man has continued hobnobbing with sin, and this has led him to see as good what is bad. It has led him to consent to what is not my sound doctrine. This has led man to see as good that my children are permissive with other ideologies, thus ensuring the permanence of evil within the bosom of my church. February 18, 2016. My beloved people, humanity have been led by bad habits and false ideologies at all instants of the course of history, deforming my will at human convenience. December 11, 2015. My church has not been instructed in the practice of my word. They have been taught to repeat words, to repeat without feelings, and without knowledge. This is why at this instant it is so easy for man to leave me and adopt ideologies contrary to what is truly my love. December 4, 2015. Children, do not expect the disturbances to stop. They will increase, they will not diminish. I have talked to you by different means so you will understand that when man rebels against me, he creates a fissure in his soul which not only absorbs the violence spread by the demons throughout the world, but it leads them to folly. As a result of this, you are driven to rebel against my Holy Spirit. Rebellion that calls you to act against my will and live your own lives, which become rough and difficult by trying to impose on everyone the way of thinking and the ideologies that have gotten into the creature. Man is fertile soil or arid land depending on his free will. My word reaches all of you equally so that you will decide to act and work righteously. August 27, 2015. At this instant there are more who forget than there are who invite me into their lives, more who remain in false ideologies than those who follow me. Men follow the masses, and these go against my mandates because the debauchery makes them see furtively and with indifference the harshness they are living. My children suffer because of communism. They suffer in several places of the earth where men do not see each other as brothers, but as enemies. Those who have power exile their brothers, torment them, and enjoy doing it, and these are a mere semblance of the suffering that will ensue from this ideology as it advances, this ideology that will fight to weaken the rest of humankind and which my mother called to defeat, but she was not obey. July 21, 2015. Pray, my children, prayer is important. And after praying and receiving me in my body and my blood, comply with the will of our Trinity, being messengers of love, of that divine love that I make abide in my faithful people. My children, respond. Do not be the ones to get involved in the mundane world. Do not be the ones to become allies of evil. Do not be the ones to act against your brothers. Do not be the ones to exterminate the gift of life. Do not be the ones to become inquisitors. Do not be the ones to commit adultery. Do not be the ones to extort your brothers. Do not be the ones to share false doctrines. Do not be the ones to embrace false ideologies because of ignorance. Do not be the ones to attribute to me what is not my word or my truth. You get involved with ideologies contrary to my word. You dare compare me to human leaders who have committed great genocides against humanity, and you do so precisely because you ignore my word, because, if you knew it in spirit and truth, you would not commit such heresy. I am who I am. I am the one who loves divinely, and no human creature who has raised the hand to kill the greatest gift I have given to man and has not repented, can ever be compared, not even compared to my love, to my holy and divine doctrine. Just like you dare compare me to human leaders, so because of that great hubris, pride, as well as ignorance, you will embrace the mandates of the antichrist. No, children, I do not want that for my people. That is why I order you to immediately get away from those who dare compare my love to the previously mentioned human love or ideology that was raised over the blood of your brothers. June 26, 2015. Ideologies that are not Christian prevail within the heart of my church's hierarchy. The Freemasonry holds control of much of what is dictated, and my people ignore it. April 30, 2015. You are the apple of my eyes, but do not abuse my mercy. I remain by your side. You will not lack my consolation or my word, but remain faithful to me. Do not accept any ideology contrary to my will. September 3, 2015. The rulers of the great nations of the world exert great influence in the making of agreements which will be broken later in silence and mutual betrayal. These rulers have earthly power given to them by the people themselves, people they later lead to their death like sheep to the cliff. Due to their different ideologies, Masonic, communist, and atheist leaders watch with satisfaction how they lacerate my people and conspire against those who are mine. February 23, 2015. Atomic energy is the greatest threat to this generation. Man knows not to control himself, and nuclear energy is in the hands of men. You were waiting for the advancement of communism as a sign, and yet at this instant there are so many communist countries and the people are not even aware of this. But the rulers with communist ideas transform the innocent people into followers of this great scourge. October 2, 2015. Tell them that everything that has come from the Father's hand has been to please his children, and man, because of his favored and consented ignorance, does not reciprocate. Instead, he heralds new ideologies to adore the animal and the vegetable kingdoms, the sun, the moon, the wind, and man adores himself, his body as if it were immortal. Man will abandon the true faith to embrace ideologies or practices that will lead him to evil by controlling his mind with falsehoods, will guide him on the way to one unique religion that the ruthless followers of the Antichrist will demand. April 1, 2015. Where are you, my people? You have kept away from my kingdom for false idols, for wolf with sheep clothing, for false promises, for negative science, for political interests and for power, for the ideologies that are invading my children to constrain them and to silence them, for the interests that hide the truth. December 30, 2014. I invite you to live in my love so you won't continue in the midst of so much corruption and succumb to it. You, my children, fight against the world and its machinations, but you must always have the certainty that I do not abandon you. That is called faith. I cannot elude that man has lost respect to the gift of life. He doesn't fear to cause injury to his brother. He doesn't fear to assassinate the innocents. He doesn't fear to lose his soul when he believes that a place of eternal condemnation doesn't exist, denying me, removing me from his life and forgetting that I redeemed him on the cross. False ideologies invade the earth to separate you from me, and they do not fear offending me, because I have kept silent. But as in the past of other generations, I will come when they least expect me. December 16, 2014. In the past, science had progressed, but not with the tenacity and intensity of this instant, making man act as a robot that works and acts without a conscience, steering the young people to depend on technology to live, and as medicine for their mental, body and spiritual ailments, making them go astray with ideologies that endeavor to preach health of the mind and of the body. The practices that invite you to relax and have momentary thoughts that aim to harmonize the body are false. May 18, 2014. False ideologies abound everywhere, urging people to not love my word or my precepts. Debauchery reigns among humanity, and humanity is not able to stop it. Unbridled debauchery goes against innocence and love. Those who follow me will suffer, but they are not alone, they are not alone. September 26, 2013. How many of my consecrated ones do not pray, do not attend to my sheep, and remain on the mediums of social communication, not precisely guiding my children? My beloved, the instants of tribulation have already begun. Man has not corresponded as he should have in response to my calls, nor has he become aware of the seriousness of this instant. On the contrary, he lacks reason, since he does not desire it within himself. He fears all that can lead him to meditate about his worldly behavior. Truth has been buried by appearances, souls have removed my love, and in its place they receive false liberal ideologies to continue in blindness and justify their evil actions. April 29, 2013. Do not be careless, remain alert. Spiritual confusion knocks at the door of each one of those who are mine, but do not falter. Do not forget that I am the truth. Do not allow false ideologies to make you spiritually blind to the snares of the devil who spreads pain over my people. March 2, 2013. I have sent my word through my faithful instruments to explain and clarify to this generation the perverse plans of evil, abomination, betrayal, and the presence of the Antichrist in the midst of my people. The Antichrist and his allies will openly deny my real presence in the Eucharist, my bloody sacrifice, and will abolish the Marian dogmas, denying the purity of my mother. This supplanter has already worked so that my people, sunken in sin, be ignorant of my truth, permissive and tolerant of what is told to them, complying with the closing of my churches, forgetting me and taking the breed of evil as God. These will be persecutors of my instruments, uniting themselves with those consecrated ones who diverted my truth and who received false ideologies and unhealthy interests, and who from their pulpits will ridicule my faithful instruments, trying to silence my calls. July 16, 2011. The Antichrist has infiltrated weapons through his allies, weapons of false ideologies and doctrines disguised as progress and modernism in order to rope the masses in a universal precipice and thus the kingdom of darkness prevail everywhere. April 27, 2011. Pray for those with minds corrupted by false extremist ideologies, who will bring innocents pain. June 25, 2009. Do not forget, children, that he who thinks himself to be wise in these my ways, perhaps is just beginning, because life is like a tree in constant growth. Therefore you should maintain yourselves feeding on the sap of my word so that you grow strong, and the different winds that blow around with modernist ideas and vain ideologies do not succeed in making you fall.